Is that it? That's it? Bruh, oh my gosh, the Montreal Canadiens are making an amazing trade today! Noah Dobson is a Hab! First to report on the deal was none other than Kevin Weeks, reporting live from LA at the site of the 2025 draft. The Montreal Canadiens are acquiring Noah Dobson in a sign and trade with the New York Islanders. Dobson gets an 8-year contract extension carrying a $9.5 million AAV. Now, Frank Seravalli posted the trade details per sources. To the Montreal Canadiens, Noah Dobson. To the Isles, 16, 17. And Heineman? That's it? No Logan Mailloux? As reported, expect the Islanders to leverage those picks to move up and try and draft Hagens. They want Shagans. Schaefer at number 1, Hagens at wherever it is that they end up taking him. But the Islanders getting 16, 17, and Heineman, honestly, considering the circumstances, considering the fact that Dobson was not really willing to stick around for a while in New York at a dollar amount that they would feel comfortable with, considering that there was already some difficulties with that, I think this is a very fair trade for both sides. And that's all assuming that this is it. Like, we're not seeing Logan Mailloux's name pop up in this trade return. The reason I mention Mailloux is because he ended up following the AHL's Bridgeport Islanders on Instagram earlier this morning. So if Mailloux is actually getting traded to the Islanders, you would assume that this type of a deal is appropriate. But if he isn't, his name is not included on Seravalli's initial tweet. This is either some elite trolling or he is gone. Respect if he is trolling. We're allowed to have fun throwing his name in potential trades, and he's allowed to have a little fun too at our expense. Maybe Logan Mailloux is lurking Reddit right now. But let's move past the Mailloux talk and just talk about these assets over here. So 16 and 17th overall in the draft, gone. Montreal no longer drafts in the first round this year, which makes my job a little bit easier because, you know, it's been kind of a struggle to keep up with the NHL draft and all of the draft picks that are made. I focus on 3 teams primarily, Vancouver, Montreal, and Detroit, and having all of these teams picking almost back to back would have been a nightmare for me, video creating wise. Now we can just focus on Detroit at 13, Vancouver at 15, and then we can go to bed. But Montreal, 17 and 18, they did have those picks at their disposal. It would have been a nightmare for me to make 4 individual videos in the span of like 10 minutes. But ultimately, Noah Dobson gets the Islanders both of these picks. We will likely see New York try to package both of these picks up into the top of the draft here. They want to draft Hagens. You could say, oh, but what about the Canadiens? They could have packaged those 2 picks to go up here themselves. Yeah, but they don't really need anybody who's available in this range of the draft. They need guys now. And Noah Dobson is good now. Noah Dobson is a very, very good player now. And at $9.5 million a year, which is a lot under the $11 million price tag we had heard he was wanting with New York, this works really well for the Montreal Canadiens. 6'4", 194 right-handed D-man who had 39 points this most recent season, a decline from his 70-point season in 23-24. He is a number 1 D-man when he is at his best, and he can produce points like crazy. He can take the load off of Alexandre Carrier, and he's got really good all-around numbers. There's a question posted on the Habs sub by Lunch O. This was 12 minutes ago. Can someone explain Noah Dobson to me? Everyone was getting super hyped on Dobson, and now that we got him, everyone's happy. I looked at his stats over his career, and I just don't see how he is worth $9.5 million. He had one 70-point season, but followed it up with 39 points this past year, and other seasons were around 40 to 50 points. His plus-minus isn't great, and from what I've heard analysts say, he's not great defensively. I get that he's a right-handed D and we needed that, but I just don't get why he's worth what we gave him in the salary AAV that we signed him to. Please enlighten me. This post has 0% upvotes, and the top comment says, "You're aware that other things exist outside of points." And then the reply, okay, well, as I said, apparently he's average defensively and his plus-minus is negative. Plus-minus is a team stat. His underlying numbers went from bad defensively to almost elite in the last 2 years. Dobson is a young, 6'4" right-handed D that potted 70 points at 24 years old. They don't grow on trees, and they rarely, if ever, are available if you don't draft them. Having Hudson on this team will probably relieve some of the workload on him, and he's going to be great for years to come. There's debatably no 1-2 punch on defense that projects to be better than those two in the next 5 years in the whole league. But now, Carrier, Reinbacher, Dobson, Mailloux on the right side. Yeah, I don't understand why this is a concern. Have Dobson as the number one, and then just have everybody else fighting for second and third overall on the team's right side. Mailloux is still a trade candidate here, folks, and even though he wasn't included on Frank Seravalli's initial tweet, I don't think that Mailloux's job security in Montreal should be considered a done deal in any respect. With that in mind, let's just go back over here to try to dive into some of the extra things. Is there any other details? Yeah, no, nobody's talking about Mailloux. That is really, really interesting. Heineman heading over to New York is really interesting too. I mean, that guy absolutely torched the NHL in his limited sample with the Montreal Canadiens. I think a lot of folks were very, very big fans of Emil Heineman in the most recent season of play that we had seen. I do not have his Elite Prospects page bookmarked. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But Emil Heineman, 23 years old, 6'2", 194, heading over to the New York Islanders. He had scored 18 points in 62 games played this most recent season and 10 goals. The guy was an underrated goal-scoring machine when he is on, when he flies down the wing, and when he just decides to get it on net. Sometimes really good things can happen. Heineman is the type that can fit anywhere in the lineup and play any role. There's a strong push to his stride, which gives him added acceleration, and top speed while skating in a straight line. He's always got his feet moving, always maintains a high battle level, and never shies away from making personal sacrifices to improve the two-way health of his team. That was the assessment of Heineman back in 2020. Look at his family, man. This guy has such a big family playing hockey. And now that he's in New York, I feel like he's going to be a really big fan favorite with that team. We've already seen other younger guys, other Swedes on the wing excel in a pretty meaningful capacity with the Islanders. I'm thinking Simon Holmstrom. Holmstrom and Heineman together is going to be really fun to watch. I'm going to like that a lot. But Heineman, I mean, it just wasn't meant to be with him in Montreal. He gets packaged up with 16 and 17 to acquire Noah Dobson for the Habs. The Montreal Canadiens have acquired Noah Dobson with a contract extension at $9.5 million a year by 8 years. The Islanders are receiving 16 and 17 and Emil Heineman. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Noah Dobson, the newest Montreal Canadien. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.